Hello everyone, welcome to Always Open. I'm your host, Barbara Dunkelman, and with me today, I have some very beautiful human beings. Too beautiful to be sitting next to me, actually.
Yeah, I've always said that.
Who are you?
I'm Jesse Hodges.
Woo!
Hi, Jesse.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nick Rutherford.
Woo!
I'm Chris Damaris.
Hi, Chris.
Yes.
Thanks.
Interesting.
So welcome, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So Nick and Jesse are from one of our series, Crunch Time, and we're very happy to have them here. And we're going to be talking about all sorts of things. But before we do, we have to get
God.
slightly drunk. And for everyone
course.
watching this, we're actually filming this at like 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
And I'm forcing them to drink, and it's for you guys. So
and it smells.
Yeah.
I mean, like alcohol, not
good
like.
or bad?
Well, it's aromatic.
Potent.
Yeah, like I'm getting drunk smelling.
It's
it.
a. What is a shot?
It's called the Breakfast Shot, and this is submitted by Thomas T. and Lynette B. Multiple people submitted the shot. And it's half Jameson, half butterscotch schnapps, and then it's followed by an orange juice chaser.
Oh,
Okay.
Okie dokie.
very cool.
So shout out to you guys.
Cheers,
Cheers.
everybody.
Cheers. I'm sorry to do this to you, but I'm also
Cheers.
not sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, so sweet.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
What I have for breakfast all the
I
time.
can have that with pancakes.
Isn't it nice that you get to do it with other people?
Yeah, finally.
It kind of tastes
Not
like
in
syrup.
a dark closet.
Is that
Nick usually takes shots alone in the morning.
Is it always the breakfast shot too?
Yeah. It's all, well, no butterscotch, just the Jameson.
So you guys, as I mentioned, are on the show Crunch Time, which focuses a lot on dreams and what your dreams are about and going into people's dreams.
Yes.
And much more. You should definitely check it out. So to start things off, I want to talk about your dreams. Do they mean anything? Have you had any memorable ones, unforgettable ones, terrible ones? Tell me about them.
Oh no.
Is it your dream to be on the show? Maybe it is.
It was always my dream to sit in the yellow booth. Very excited now. I used to have a lot of dreams where I'd be about to do a Broadway show, and I couldn't remember the lines. Like I didn't have the lines down. It's like I think they're like performer anxiety. dreams.
Classic
When did
actor
that start
dream.
for you?
Like very young, like middle school or something.
He was a child actor.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like an actual
like-
TV one.
Oh my
Who
god.
were you in?
I was the token white boy on Amen. I played. It's true. I played young Skippy on. What's that Michael J. Fox show that I can't think of now? Life Goes On. Family
Family
Ties.
Ties.
Thank you.
Life goes on.
I was young Corky on
And
Life
we
Goes
have
On.
families.
Family ties matter.
Families go on.
House.
It's that, and then I was on Tracy Ullman's show, and I did a lot of commercials. And
Like he was a real child actor.
Yeah.
And he was very cute.
I was cuter
What
than.
happened?
Very cute.
The drugs hit. No, I just grew up, and then just realized that we're all dust.
How long were you playing a child? Like you're like 18. You're still playing like the elementary school.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
how
I
long
just
does
have
that
like a big
last?
lollipop and a spinner cap.
They have like
Nick's
people
like
who
60.
we have people who like legitimately are 30, 35 years old playing high school students, right?
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
I guess you just have to always look somewhat young when you're an actor.
If you got a baby face, I think you just always play a high school guy forever.
Yeah.
Eventually, I was just leaned into like grow the beard out, just let yourself
Start
go.
doing stand-up.
Yeah, start doing stand up. Never sleep.
We
and,
also found out before the show that you're half Mexican.
I am quarter Mexican.
Quarter Mexican.
Quarter Mexican.
My bad.
From Mexico City.
Really?
Yeah, my grandmother.
Not one of those
Guadalupe.
other Mexican cities.
No, not that
I'm from the one named after
Well,
Mexico.
the one that a lot of people know. Or maybe not Juarez. Maybe.
So you started acting when you were young, which is why you had those dreams?
Yeah, I was
Like, that's
3 years
how it's
old when I was in a commercial.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Clear our shame.
So kind.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I have had those dreams most of my life too, and I was but an amateur child actor. I was not a professional paid child actor.
Oh.
Just
Boring.
one who did community theater plays.
Wow.
But do you not have those
Actor
performance?
dreams? No, never. And I think it's because I'm not really an actor. Like
Oh,
I
that could
do,
be it.
I do some stuff here at Rooster Teeth, but other than that, I'm not like
You
an
know,
actual actor.
It's growing up doing theater. You did theater,
I did a lot of
right?
theater.
well, it's like
yeah.
a lot of like memorization stuff and performing as a young kid, which probably affected you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like waiting in the wings as a child, ready to go on, and your parents are in the audience.
And you're
like, "Do I
so
know the
And
line?"
scared.
you don't want to disappoint them.
Yeah.
Which you probably have multiple times.
Every day, every damn day.
So
Sorry,
did you
Mom.
ever have similar dreams to that? Or just,
I
like,
mean,
nightmares?
exactly what he's describing.
Yeah.
Like, usually for me, it's the day of the play,
Oh no.
and I don't know what play it is, and I don't know what part I'm playing, but I can't tell anyone because I'm ashamed because I should know that information. And so the whole dream is like running around backstage trying to figure it out without letting on that I don't know the play I'm in and I don't know what role I'm playing.
Yeah, I just need my costume. What was my costume again?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's
so excited
always-
to play this character. Are you excited for me?
Yeah,
to
what
play
did you
that
think
character?
about my character? What were his motivations and his backstory?
If you had to give her a name,
And his name.
what would you call her?
You have a nickname for her, maybe, or
And it's always just like I'm always running. Like it's not a stagnant dream. I'm just like going through like the backstage is like a maze.
And there's like a countdown that never ever gets to the actual
Yes.
performance, but you're always about to perform.
you just always feel that anxiety
Yeah.
leading up to it.
Yeah.
That sounds
terrible.
like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Literally.
I had a dream
Yeah.
last night where
I
I
actually
was
had weird dreams last night too.
really.
Yeah.
I think it's a new city, and you have these.
Whenever
weird
you're
guys.
in a new bed, sometimes people
Yeah.
experience like very weird, like not natural dreams that they have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because like you're in a different place or like the bed you're sleeping on feels different.
You're
and
not
it's a different
sleeping as
environment.
soundly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what were you saying?
Oh, I got pinned for a murder in New Orleans.
Last night? You had
Yeah,
this
last
dream?
night. And so I was like on trial for a murder I didn't commit. It was terrifying. It was so real. It was like lucid dream. And then my other friends, like Clay Elliott was there because they also were like going. I guess they were just knocking out a bunch of cases at once,
As they do.
as they do in the court system. And all the other friends got like cleared. Like, oh, you can go, you can go, you can go. And then like I told my story, I was like, well, I was here. There's no way I could have done this thing and this thing. And the judge was like, we'll see you tomorrow. Like, it's not even over yet.
So tonight you're gonna have that dream. It's
I'm
gonna
not-
be the continuation of the trial.
So I'm not going to bed ever
Yeah.
again.
Ever.
No.
I stopped having dreams at a certain age.
Really?
Like I know I still dream, but I just never remember them when I wake up.
Wow.
Like it'll be one of those things where I wake up and I'm like, I just dreamed about something, and then 2 seconds later it's out of my head completely, and I don't know how to retain them. But when I was younger, I used to have the strangest dreams, and I used to listen to music when I went to bed. And I remember very vividly, it was that song that's like, I will remember you. And every time I hear that song, I think of this dream I had to that song. It was weird. My mom was in this dream, and she was wearing this white flowy dress, and she was
Ooh.
standing by a window, and I
beautiful.
couldn't reach her.
Oh,
It was beautiful up until then, and I like couldn't get to her, and the wind was flowing, and the dress was flowing, and I was just like, "Mom!" and she couldn't hear me, and it was all sad.
That's so
Was she a ghost?
I
Or
don't
Were you a
know.
ghost?
kind of.
I think we were both ghosts in this
No.
situation.
Oh, and you were how young?
I was probably like 11 years old.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you think
that's
there
such
was?
a poetic 11-year-old dream.
I feel like most of my dreams were all like
Sex.
sexual.
Yeah.
but in my own brain doesn't let me like have the right fantasies. Like it's always like a sex dream, and then it never actually works out in my favor. You know, it's like I'll be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Fair.
no, it's like one of those things. Like, oh yeah, it's like I'm like meeting this beautiful woman, and where things are going well, and then it's like whatever ends up happening, it's like we never end up.
You never closed the
finished.
deal?
We never, yeah.
You never
And
closed
it's always weird stuff too, where it's like in my, say I was like if I had a girlfriend or something, in my head I'd be like, well, I have a girlfriend. I'm sorry, I can't do this, even though I don't know it's. A dream.
I'm sorry, Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
time.
But even then, sometimes too, I'll have a dream where in my head, my dreams version will have a girlfriend, and then I can't.
You're always committed in your dreams.
You're
No,
Or
no,
someone's
or
always
something
loyal.
else, or something else will happen. You know, like it's always. I keep cock blocking myself.
You
Yeah.
in my dreams.
So have you never been able to have sex in a dream?
I have. I'm not gonna say it's never
Okay,
happened, but it's
okay.
like it's always, just like real life. More often than not, it's disappointing.
For you or her?
That's what she said.
It's really funny when your dreams are not an escape from reality.
Yeah.
Like I remember going through this
Like
period
when
of
you're just
time-
going to work in your dream.
Yes,
Yeah.
I went through this period of time where I was having dreams about like sitting down and having coffee with my friend, and then I wake up and be
a
like,
dream
"What
right
the fuck? This sucks.
Yeah.
Might as well never go to sleep."
I hear people have dreams about flying or like having
Yeah.
superpowers or doing these like incredible things, and I'm like, wow, I had a dream that I went to a convention and there was no people there. It was fun. Like that's the kind of dream I have now.
I had a dream. I was staying at my friend's house, sleeping on an air mattress in like his basement, and I had a dream where I woke up and I had to deflate the air mattress and fold it. I literally had to do like the fold and roll it, and then I rolled it off, so I had to re-roll it and then wrap the cord around it and put it in the bag, and then I folded all the things because I'm like a good guest.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and like I had to do all that stuff again. Like wow, what the wild imagination of my brain. What dream can we concoct? Yeah, it was terrible.
What about
really
what about
funny.
nightmares? Do you guys have like a recurring one?
I had a recurring nightmare that I was running through my house, like a version of my house, and I was being chased by a McDonald's Happy Meal box. I was like watched
Like the cardboard
Poltergeist
box?
once. Yeah, the cardboard like box with the little handle, but it
Yeah.
had teeth. And then halfway through that dream, I turned into a spider. And spiders in that world can't move as fast, and also they don't breathe oxygen. So then I started suffocating.
Wait, when was this?
This was right after the murder dream last night.
That's an incredibly
No,
elaborate
not
dream.
really.
No, this is like a recurring dream as a kid.
Oh, a recurring
Yeah.
dream as a kid. Okay.
Had it
So
all
did you
the
not
time.
ever want McDonald's after that?
I couldn't face it.
It's a great
couldn't face
question.
the box.
Because like I don't think anything would keep me away from eating McDonald's, especially as a kid. I even watched Super Size Me and it made me want fries and
You're like,
Big
oh
Mac.
man, that looks so good.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh,
That
That dude's lucky.
It's really brave of you to admit that.
yeah. I mean, it's very true.
I feel like I've like told this in other Rooster Teeth scenarios, but I guess I'll tell it again. My earliest memory is a nightmare.
Really?
And it goes from being asleep in the nightmare to actually being awake.
Like you're asleep and you wake up in the nightmare?
No, like I remember the nightmare because it was so vivid. And then I also remember waking up and okay, so here's what happened. I had a dream. So I was born in Asheville, North Carolina, and we moved. Thanks. Nobody else?
Anybody
Wow.
from
That's what you're supposed to do when people
Nashville?
say places.
Woo!
I've heard of that city.
So, but we moved when I was like 4. So I know it was pre-4.
Yeah.
So I had this dream that I was on my block and I was in my front yard and these boys, like real boys from the block, were walking down the street and they were like kind of villainous, like
Like making fun of someone? Or?
yeah, like I was like scared as they were approaching. And one of them had like a rope in his hand, like a leash, and it went up to the sky and attached to it was like a huge, like kind of primitive bird, like a hawk that was circling
Wow.
on the leash.
You're a very imaginative little kid.
I've
Oh my
never had a
God.
dream like this since, and I was like 3 or 4. And so it was like circling, and I like looked up and saw it, and it looked down and saw me and went like, "Caw!" and dove for me. And right at when it was about to hit me, I dove out of the way. And when thank you.
Good move.
When I turned around, like the Wicked Witch of the West, only its claws were sticking up out of the lawn, and the boys ran away crying. So that's the nightmare.
Suckers.
So then I actually woke up, and I remember going to my mom and going, there's a bird in the yard. We have to go look at the yard. There's a bird in the yard. And I remember my sister had these like corrective shoes. She was a baby. She had these corrective shoes because there was an issue with her legs. And it was like lacing up ice skates. And I remember my mom being like, Jessie, wait, I have to put on Allie's shoes. And and I remember like waiting all this time for her to get these shoes on. And by the time she got them on, we went out into the yard and there was no bird.
Oh.
No, there was no bird because it was reality. But I didn't understand that the nightmare
difference
wasn't
between- yeah.
real.
You know what's really funny about that? My first nightmare was also about birds.
Really?
Yeah, and it was when I was 8 years old, and I had a dream that there was these giant pigeons that had overtaken my elementary school.
That could be fun though.
No, I agree.
No, but not like
Teacher.
they're not like
Pigeon ate the
teachers.
teacher. Yeah.
Seen birds?
No.
No.
And wasn't afraid of pigeons or birds in general, but for some reason they had taken over my school.
That's scary.
Like they were perched on top of the building and they were like throwing their shit at people. And like they were
Throwing
just
their shit
taking
Like a
kids
monkey
up.
thing.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely not a bird thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know these things at 8 years old, you know.
That's
so yeah, that
scary.
was my first nightmare, and I was afraid to go to school the next day. And I was just like, the pigeons are gonna be there.
It's like birds aren't scary, but what is scary is that they're above you. Like the circling, the fact
Yeah,
that they can sit
I
on
don't
the
know.
roof.
I've never been afraid of a bird. Sorry.
Chris ain't
They're
afraid
a little
of birds.
scary.
Huh?
They got claws and
They're like
sharp
dinosaurs.
faces. Yeah, they look like dinosaurs. Yeah, and they can just go wherever they want.
Those sharp faces.
Exactly.
are
Sometimes
very
they're in
intimidating.
airports inside.
It's true. We actually saw a pigeon at New York Comic Con this weekend.
Oh yeah.
It was at our
Inside?
booth. It was like walking along in our booth before anybody was
And it
in
stared
there.
at you and was like, "Aren't you coming back to school?"
Don't be late for the test. But yeah, I don't know. What about you guys?
I don't have a lot of nightmares. I did remember a flying dream though.
Oh, that's lucky.
Where the first dream I remember in my life is I grew a raccoon tail, and I went flying
Like from
around.
Super Mario
yeah, from
Brothers?
Super Mario 3, and then I was like, "This is awesome!" And I like flew around my neighborhood, and I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever!" And I woke up and life sucks after
Was it
that.
was it like a lucid dream? Like you were able to control yourself?
I mean, I guess I grew a raccoon tail, and that's like something I always wanted to. So maybe
But did you have to like obnoxiously find enough space to run without hitting any Goombas to
I
get
had
into
to.
the?
I mean, I had to like I had to go to the back of the yard
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
start running.
Yeah.
But it was really cool, and
That
I
was
was
very
like,
cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes up for the like sex stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
You have like some redeeming.
At least you can fly with a raccoon tail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in real life too.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you guys know
You
this.
can always remember Mario.
He has a strange obsession with raccoons, and I don't know what it is. Like he has one of those Roomba things, the vacuum cleaners, and he somehow attached a stuffed raccoon to it, and he calls it his Raccoomba.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It's
though.
really cute.
Like a taxidermy, like a dead raccoon.
No, like a
Stuffed-
stuffed animal.
It's a coon. It's like a coon skin hat, and
Yeah.
then a stuffed raccoon, and it's one of those things I wanted a pet, and I was like, I don't want the maintenance of a pet. So
You
I'm gonna,
know.
And you don't want a raccoon
As
to
you
rip up
do.
your
Yeah, yeah.
couch
But
every
it's
day.
like-
Classic tale of turning your Roomba into a rodent.
Raccoomba.
Yeah.
He's
So
also
it-
got a full size stand up vacuum that he calls his girlfriend.
Dude,
she sucks.
It gives the best blowjobs.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Well, speaking of blowjobs, or not, maybe if you were too young. So for this My First Time segment, Patrick C. would like to know, who was your first crush and what was it like? Was it exciting, exhilarating, and how did you deal with it?
I mean, I had a crush on a girl when I was like 7 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
legit.
it was just yeah. So it was
That's
like
about
this,
the time, right?
you know, and there, I think her name was Jordan, and I was like, oh, I told my friends like I have a crush on Jordan, and then but it turns out one of my other friends also had a crush on Jordan,
Uh-oh.
and then he
There was a shootout.
No, it was one of those things where we were like outside at recess or whatever, and he comes up to me, he's like, "So I hear you like Jordan," and like trying to fight me, and I'm like, "Dude, we're 7, like calm down, like we're not
You had
gonna."
the
You didn't
foresight.
say that. You didn't say
No,
dude or
but
seven.
well, in my head, I was like, I'm not. Well, I don't. This doesn't matter. It's
I
like,
can't fight.
yeah.
Yeah, but when you're 7, you don't realize that.
No, I
doesn't
knew.
matter.
I realized it's like this doesn't matter. Like I knew
You
in my
did
head, I was
realize.
You're
like,
wiser than your years.
You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
that's like,
When
yeah.
I was
There'll be
7,
other
everything was the
Jordans.
end of
yeah,
the world.
like
Yeah.
I did realize like I'm not gonna fight you over this girl that it's.
I don't remember specifically the first girl, but I remember I want to say preschool, but there's no way, right? How old are you in preschool? Like 5? Okay, so 4 or 5. I remember it was the big cootie years, and guys did not
big
hang out
cootie
with
years.
girls, and there was a lot of talk of cooties and what they could do to you.
Yeah, they're
the
terrible.
cootie side effects. Yeah, it was really nasty stuff, and I was kind of like, that's bullshit. I really like hanging out with girls, but in front of my guy friends, I'd have to say like, oh yeah, they suck. The girls suck. But then I would secretly hang out with girls.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you'd be full of the cooties and infecting them without them knowing.
Yeah, I was cootie patient 0.
It's your fault.
A lot of dudes had to get cootie shots that year.
So do you remember like having an actual crush on anybody when you were that young?
I mean, I don't remember any names, but I remember like these 3 girls that hung out by the tree in the back of the playground. And then I also hung out with with 3 girls in grade school that hung out at the back. I was really into the back 3 girls.
And the 3 sets of 3.
Yeah.
That's-
Lin
I
Ye,
feel like I
Melody
know that
Sim,
about
Jen
you.
Chang, yeah.
There was,
Oh,
there was
wow.
a girl I was friends with, and like, I guess it was like, yeah, I was 4 or something. Her name was KK.
KK.
KK?
Yes.
Like actual name or her nickname?
I don't know. I don't know anything about KK. All I remember is the name, and then I remember my
And
sister.
the feelings.
Feelings
Yeah.
and my sister making fun of me, being like, "Oh, why don't you go hang out with KK?" And that's it. That's all. That's all the
Your
memory.
sister
KK.
burned you hard, man. Ruthless.
She told you to hang out with a girl.
You let her talk to you like that?
Jeez, where were your parents?
My first crush was also around like 8, 9 years
Yeah.
old. And I remember there was a guy in my class. I remember having the biggest crush on him. And we were in the same class for 4 years in elementary school all the way up until high school. And I remember he was interested in me too. We were like good friends. We would hang out all the time. And I thought he had a crush on me as well. But then these 2 new girls came to school.
No.
You girls are the hottest.
New girls, they were at a public school before, and they came to our private school. And so they were all cool
Public
Oh,
school
they had-
girls.
and fashionable and had pretty hair, and they wore makeup.
They cursed.
Oh my
They
God.
did.
Did they smoke cigarettes? No, they were.
Not yet.
They were in 3rd grade.
Not yet.
Sure.
They did, I think, by like the 6th grade, so they were advanced.
I got a
And,
crush
uh,
on these girls.
Yeah.
You probably
Give
do.
us their numbers, actually.
I could. I'll show you some pictures later of the 3rd grade versions of
Oh,
them. though.
no.
Great. No, that's what I want to see.
Okay.
And I remember they came and he started talking to them. And then he became friends with them. And then him, this other guy, and those 2 girls would hang out every single recess. And he completely ignored me after that.
Damn.
I just got basically the shaft.
Shame.
Shame.
It's so crazy how like recess is like a date. Recess
Yeah,
is like,
a big speed date.
It is, because
Yeah.
it's your only time to really socialize with the other people in your class.
yeah.
You can't socialize during, like, social studies.
No.
Whatever the fuck it's called. Did you guys have social studies?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
It's just kind of like history, right?
Right, it was just history, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it was just history.
You'd think it'd be something else, like how to shake hands and how
Right.
to
Yeah.
give a public speech.
How to hold eye contact
yeah.
until
How
she breaks.
Ugh, don't.
long
It's
could you
making
go without
nervous.
blinking?
I don't know, but my eyes are starting to hurt a little bit.
Let it go. Just let it go.
I want you to look
Thank
like I've
you,
been
Elsa.
crying the whole time.
I also had an elementary school crush that spanned years. This guy named Patrick. And I had a crush on him from like probably like 2nd grade to 5th. No, longer, like till middle school.
Oh, wow.
Like intense. And I was like obsessed with him. And then like the second he showed any inkling of liking me, which was like, mind you, 6 years down the road, I was like, ew, no, I'm done.
What is that? That happens to a lot of people, where it's like you have a crush on someone, and then once they show interest, you're just like, oh, never mind.
I
The
know.
Why did
chase
I
is
like you?
over.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like you want what you can't have.
Yeah.
That was very like, I've never experienced that though, like in my adulthood. To me,
Yeah.
that was like a kid
Yeah, I think it's
thing.
like an immaturity thing of just like, I want that. No, I want something else.
Never mind.
My first like 12-year-old crush was Alicia Abeda. I'll say it. She's married now. And I remember she went on a date with some other dude, one of the some set of twins. Not both of them, but one of the set of twins. And this big rumor got spread around school that they went to a movie, and then Alicia was eating popcorn, and like a piece of popcorn fell into her shirt. And then she turned to like Alan and was like, "Alan, can you get that?" And I was like, "Oh my God, what?" And then I fell immediately in love with Alicia, and then I was in love with her for 2 years, and then she was also my first kiss.
Ooh.
So,
so you successful.
followed through with
Yeah,
that love.
yeah.
Damn,
Wow,
ladies, man.
good
Did you
job.
then get the popcorn out of her chest?
Never had the
Very-
opportunity. Yeah.
Do you ask your current girlfriend now to like accidentally
Do-
drop some
yeah,
stuff?
I
Do
just
the
to
do.
popcorn
relive?
thing.
I call her Alicia.
It's a weird
And
role.
At the
play.
movie, you're just
Do the
like,
popcorn thing.
Nick, stop. We're in
stop.
the movie theater.
you know what
Sure,
else I
sorry.
like though, other than boys? Crunchyroll. Thanks to Crunchyroll for sponsoring this episode of Always Open. Crunchyroll was built by fans of anime who love different anime series for all different reasons. They offer the largest, most diverse collection of anime series straight from the source. Their current lineup includes Mob Psycho 100, Cowboy Bebop, and Sweetness and Lightning. On Crunchyroll, the newest episodes are available as soon as 1 hour after they air in Japan via simulcast. All episodes are ad-free, and you can enjoy them across all devices, Xbox, PlayStation, Wii U, etc. Right now, you can try our Crunchyroll Premium for 30 days free with crunchyroll.com/alwaysopen. That's crunchyroll.com/alwaysopen for 30 days free of Crunchyroll Premium. Thank you, Crunchyroll.
Thank you, Crunchyroll.
Thank
Crunchyroll.
you. You are the crunchiest of rolls, and we love you.
Crunchyroll.
All right, well, moving on. This is our Ask Us Anything segment, and Nick M wants to know, have you ever had a one-night stand? And if so, what's the story? So I had a one-night stand once, and once only. I was actually leaving for Austin to move here to work at Rooster Teeth. And the night before, I had a going-away party with a bunch of people, a bunch of my friends, including some people from high school who I didn't know too well.
That's a perfect time to do it, getting out of
Yeah.
town.
Oh, yeah. And there was one guy there who I never had any interest in whatsoever sexually. He was always like a guy I kind of knew, I was an acquaintance with. And we were all drinking and having a good time. And then he and I started like flirting a little bit. And he was like, you want to come back with me to my place? And I was like, okay, sure. I'm leaving town tomorrow. Let's do it. Worst sex of my life.
Yeah, of course.
Fucking hell. It was terrible. I
You mean
also.
the guy that you weren't attracted to at all? Never thought
No,
of
he
him
was-
as sexual.
he was
And
an
then you were
attractive-
so drunk that you changed your mind.
He was an attractive guy. He was a very attractive guy. Great body, everything like that. And I don't know if it was the alcohol, but the entire time he was on top of me and he was pushing down on my chest.
Like
Like-
CPR, like
Like he was like balancing himself.
we're
Maybe were you
resuscitating.
choking?
Maybe I was a little bit, but only because he was like blocking all my airways. But he was pushing down, like almost like holding himself up using my chest and like
What?
going at like
It's an insane move.
I had a bruise
What?
on my chest area the
Barb,
next day.
are you okay?
I think so. I luckily got the fuck out of Dodge after that.
Christ.
And then I start to wonder, I'm like, because he was a popular guy in my high school too, so he probably got pussy all the time.
How many people did he do the chest pound on?
Probably
Yeah.
a lot. People were into that night. It just wasn't.
I don't know about chest pounding.
I
It's
just
weird.
It's weird to not be able to breathe while you're trying to enjoy sex.
Yeah.
'Cause you're just like,
Well, some people are into choking, but
Yeah,
I don't
that
think
is
it's
like a-
normally
But this wasn't
people are
choking.
choked by the
This
neck,
was
not by
like-
the.
And usually that's
My
like
airway.
something that they agree upon.
Yeah.
It's like a
Oh,
decision
yes.
that's made.
Not like a Donkey Kong finishing move.
yeah. Is this the strong one?
Yes. the
Excellent.
bigger ones are for you.
That's so I had a one night stand too involved choking as well.
As they all do, apparently.
Yeah, it's a good way to say hi to somebody you don't know.
Jesus.
Welcome to my bedroom.
Let me cut up your airways.
So I was living in New York at the time, and it was a New Year's Eve party, and it was at the apartment building across from my house or my apartment. And I met this girl, and we were like dancing, and then it was like, "Do you want to go to my place?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's right across the street." I'm like, cool. And then we were walking down the hallways doing like that movie makeout that almost never happens, where it's just like throwing somebody against the wall, and then the opposite wall, then like stumbling down the stairs. like,
Nice.
just the whole way. I was like, "This is gonna be so great." And then we got up to my little room, and we're kind of going at it, and like my shirt was off, and I think she was like still fully clothed. And then she kind of like straddling me, and she takes one hand and just like boom, just like straight,
Chokes you.
chokes me like boom, and I'm like down just like too hard, like just like hit my trachea, like hit the back of my neck, you know.
Whoa.
It's like and like it was just the shock of it, and I was kind of like, oh. And then she did it again, and I was like, but I didn't want it to stop, so I was like, It's
How
like,
do you not instantly lose your boner when that happens?
I wasn't checking in with the
mean-
boner at the time.
I guess it's like you got a far way to go between the two.
No, my boner actually comes up right here. She was getting both of us at the same time. And then
like a snake charmer.
I knock her hand away, and she like turns immediately, and she like kicks back, and she kicks me off my own bed, and I'm on the ground like
Oh
staring
my
up at her.
God.
And I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "It was all fun and games until you got a power trip about it."
What the fuck?
And I just like, yeah, exactly. I just stared
Until
at her
you
like,
asked her to stop killing you?
yeah, stop choking me. And she goes, "You need to leave." And I go, "This is my apartment. You need to leave." And then she left.
That is like a movie.
Until
It would be
you
great
got
if
a
she was like,
power
no.
That's what she
trip
said.
about it?
Exactly, word for word. It was all fun and games until you got a power trip about it.
Oh my God.
As if I was the guy. It was so bizarre.
That's crazy.
And then like 2 weeks later, I ran into her at a bodega, and I still was kind of like, that could have been fun if we just discussed the choking stuff. So maybe I should approach her again. And so I was kind of like, "Hey, I think you left your scarf in my apartment on New Year's Eve." And she was like, and then just left. She was not
Whoa.
into.
So she don't want to come back.
No, I think she was very embarrassed by what happened.
Really?
Yeah, because she seemed very like taken. She was just kind of caught off guard.
Do you think that was like, does she always do that?
Yeah, like is that her
I don't
move?
know. I've never.
Or
had
was she
that
like trying
sex.
that for the first time on a stranger?
I don't.
You?
It was too hard. I mean, it must have been first time because somebody explained to her like, "Oh, choking is kind of like karate chopping somebody in the neck."
I mean, I remember the first time I had a girl that was like choke me, and
She asked you to choke her.
and first I was like, I don't know. I did it so poorly. I feel I was just like,
You gotta,
that good?
Oh,
'Cause I didn't
God.
want to choke.
you gotta
had
meet my
rest
New
Well,
your
no,
York.
hand
because
on her
I just
neck?
didn't. I was like, I'd never like the idea of, being violent with a girl was like tough to get. I'm fine now.
If
Like-
someone asks you to choke them, you know. what to
Ready
do.
and willing.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
like it's just like getting comfortable with something. Now it's like okay,
Well, it's a really like
it's
you have to be really like safe.
Yeah.
And really trust the other
Yeah.
person.
exactly yeah. Though I mean, I have had like a one night stand thing where the girls like choked me.
Oh, did you like it?
Oh no, I didn't choke her. No, I mean she didn't choke me.
You choked
You
her.
choked her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the body.
But she it was one of those things where she like took my hands and then just like put them up there. So I was like,
she kind of gave you.
she
some
like it's like,
instruction.
hey, do this, and I'm like, okay.
What about you? Any choking stories or one night stands?
No choking stories. Except one time I did choke on soup. And it was very
You
scary.
shouldn't be eating soup while having sex.
No,
Come
yeah,
on, I mean,
that's classic mistake, rookie mistake.
I choked so intensely, but that's a different story. It was a one night stand with this guy who turned out to be super weird in Guatemala. Another American guy
Isn't that your middle name?
in Guatemala.
Nick
Nicholas Guatemala
Bay,
Rutherford.
Juarez Rutherford.
But he was American also. And he was kind of a babe. And so we had this like crazy night together. And he lived in or next to or something like an outdoor trekking adventure agency. Basically he was like, we're doing this like amazing volcano hike tomorrow, and you like stay at the top. You stay like an hour below the summit in a tent, and then you hike the rest of the way, whatever, in the morning, and it's these crazy views, and it's above the clouds, and it was like intense altitude, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that, and he let me go for free, and then I basically on like the 6-hour hike straight up, I realized that I couldn't stand this guy, and I was gonna have to stay in a tent with him.
Oh no.
And in the tent, he was like, basically like got the hang of it. He like understood that I was not feeling it anymore, and started getting like really beggy and desperate. And I just had to be like, "Don't touch me. Stay on your side of the tent. Happy volcano.
Oh my god.
Just shut up. Just don't talk." Like it was.
Oh, that's
awful.
terrifying.
So wait, so you didn't? It wasn't a one night stand.
The one night stand was the night before
Oh,
we left.
I
see.
So
Okay.
was it good with him that night? Because you did agree to then go on the hike with him.
Yeah, it was kind of good.
Okay.
I mean, we had been imbibing,
Gotcha.
but it was.
And
But
then,
then-
what happened on the way up?
when you got to know him
Just-
as a person.
I got to know him as a person.
Was he telling stories like, and then the plane was like, pew, pew.
Yeah, like what made you not like him?
He was.
Was he Nick?
I
Yeah,
think
was he doing little kid
he was
stories?
like doing voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoying the hike.
You're right, going to climb the mountain.
I think that the charisma very quickly turned into a very annoying personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can meet someone. I feel like you meet actors like this all the time. Where the first day you're like, oh, this person's like interesting and
charming.
cosmopolitan. Yeah, they've had a lot
They
of
know a lot
life
of things.
experience. They're smart. Yeah. And then the second day you're like,
Shut
okay,
the fuck
shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are so obnoxious.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I think it was one of those.
All right, guys. Well, to wrap things up, we have a question here for Sexpertise submitted by Jocelyn V. And this is actually a pretty serious question. I'm a junior in high school. I currently feel like I have no purpose in life. I have fairly good grades and an idea of what college I want to go to, but I have absolutely no idea what I want to do as an adult in life. I'm not even sure if I want to go to college, but I feel like I won't succeed in life if I don't. I'm just at a point in my life where I feel very lost with no direction. Should I know what I want to do by now? If not, what are some ways to figure it out? Is it okay to take a year or two after high school to find yourself, or should that be done at college? Thank you, Jocelyn V.
The college thing is really a tough question.
It is.
Because it
It
depends
is.
really what you want to do. I mean, no matter what, I think you would have a great time in college. I think it's a really important part of development. And
Yes.
And I think for a lot of people, they feel, especially like in high school, right after you finish high school, you're expected to know what you want to do for your entire life, and that should never be the case.
No, and it never, or very rarely.
For some people, they're like, I know I want to be a doctor, or I know I want to be a teacher, or like whatever they want to do, they're very set in their ways. But I would say the majority of people don't. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I went into college.
Yeah, and you find it.
You do.
Also, I feel like that person's in high school right now. High school kind of sucks. In a lot
It
like
does.
college is a lot more fun. Real life is a
Yeah.
lot more fun. People get out of their like social I don't know, cliques and
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just people. It's like a little weird it's like
You get a taste
alternate
of the
version of real
world.
life.
Yeah.
And then you get in real life, you're like, oh wow, people are a lot nicer. I feel like, or less.
Well, you realize so many things that you thought in high school mattered don't matter.
don't at all.
At all.
Yeah, and it's very liberating.
Very.
And same from like sophomore year to junior year of high school, and then
yeah.
junior to senior year.
Yeah.
Like you're a sophomore, right?
Just a junior.
Junior.
Yeah,
Junior.
she said she's a junior. So
Yeah.
that's the 11th grade?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
the most stressful year.
I think so. You're in between.
Yeah.
That's-
And it's literally stressful. You're doing all the college stuff and like taking
Oh,
your
yeah.
SATs
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
ACTs.
And
yeah,
people are
yeah.
starting to ask you the question of where are you going to go to school? What are you going to study?
Yeah.
And it's like,
I feel like
Yeah.
I can say I can give one piece of advice in absolute terms. Unless you are absolutely positive, which she's not, that you want to do something specific, I would say do not get massively in debt going to college for something that you don't even know you want to do.
yeah.
Like getting massively in debt to go pre-law or pre-med or something that you feel really confident about, go for it.
Yeah.
But I just went to school with so many actors who got $200,000 in debt.
Just because they thought they had to go to college.
Or they thought, I mean, I guess they were probably sure they wanted to do that,
Right.
but like, they're not sure it's going to pay anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the getting in debt thing is
I think
such a trap.
there's such this mindset of people need to go to college, they need to get a degree and then get a job. And that is not the case. If you don't know what you want to do and you're unsure, I would suggest maybe taking a year or two after high school to figure it out. There's nothing wrong with going to college when you're a little bit older and you finally figure out like, hey, I would like to study marketing or I'd like to study communications or law, when you have more of a focus that you think that you could do. Or you could go to college and just not declare a major.
Right.
Which
You
some
can
people
figure
do.
it out there.
Or you go to like state school, or even I went to a junior college.
Yeah, I think a
and-
junior college is a good way.
Yeah.
To figure
I mean,
it
I
out.
knew what I wanted to do, but my junior college had a great theater program. Anyway, but just go to, you can not invest too much money while still having that college experience and still kind of being able to figure things out.
I would say too, though, if you do take a year off, don't just use that year off to like do nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
You actually like.
It can be a trap.
Yeah. Like it's easy to be like, well, I'm taking a year off from school, and then you have a part-time job or whatever
Yeah.
full-time, and that just becomes your routine. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, the year's over, and I haven't done anything.
It's also going to become a rude awakening when
Exact-
you do go back to school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like you want to keep pushing yourself. Like, okay, maybe I'll try this, or maybe I should, experiment
Exactly.
with this hobby.
And also, even if you do go to college, like let's say you do pick a major that you want to do in school, and you figure out a year or two down the line that like, oh, I'm not actually interested in this, you could switch. There's nothing, especially in college, nothing is set in stone. Nothing is permanent. Like I dated some guy who was studying, I believe it was history, and he went to school for 2 or 3 years and then later decided that he wasn't actually interested in pursuing that as a career. And he switched. He switched his major and he just did a couple more years of school.
Yeah.
And
Now he's a futurist.
how did you know that? Do you know? So there's nothing wrong with that, and nothing is set in stone. I think a lot of people have that idea of you're also so young when
You're
you start
so
college.
young.
You're in your like late teens, early 20s. You have so much of your life to figure shit out and to actually change your mind about what you want to do.
And that is once again why you don't want to be burdened by massive debt.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel, I think it's a little bit criminal to allow kids who are 17 to take on that much debt.
I know.
Because they have no idea what it means.
Go to school in Canada.
Yeah, Barb doesn't even know. Barb's like, yeah, debt.
My semesters cost $1,300.
Oh my.
But you can get that at like a state school
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you
Community
can,
college.
You don't just and don't think that the experience at Yale or Harvard or NYU, Jesse,
I was very advanced.
is going to be superior to just going to like a smaller school. Like if anything, you might meet more people and you'll be in a smaller pond per se. And then if you're like, cool, this is great, I want to go to a big school or I want to go to this prestigious university, you can still transfer there.
Yeah.
And hopefully you've had.
That's what you did.
That's what I
You went
did,
to
yeah.
junior college and then you
Yeah.
went to USC. That's a way to do it.
I think the most valuable thing I got out of going to college was networking. Meeting
Yeah.
people within the industry and people who did similar things.
Same.
And
Same.
I know, like, you, Aaron, and Josh, and Zach, and everybody met in college.
Yeah.
And I know Aaron says, like, that's the most valuable thing he
Well,
got.
I think his quote is like, I paid $50,000 to meet these fuckers.
Yeah.
or something.
And
like
it's
that.
the people
He
you
uses
meet,
different
yeah.
derogatory terms depending on the environment.
Right, sure.
And how he's feeling at the time.
That's Nick with Good Neighbor. They
Yeah.
all met at USC.
We all met just doing comedy. That not even in like a class. We were just doing
Same.
extracurricular stuff,
Yeah,
and we
same-
became
same
best
with
buds.
us.
And you just met that
That's
way.
you and a lot of people involved with Crunch Time. Disney went
Yeah,
to
Disney went to
NYU.
NYU.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
Or you could just do what Brad, Zach Ganner's brother. He didn't go to school, but his brother went and he just went to
Hung
all
out
the
with all the
same
people.
stuff.
The same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hang
That's
around all the
Dave.
different
Yeah,
clubs.
like he did.
We know someone who did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good luck, Jocelyn. I know it's hard.
Good luck,
You're probably
Joss.
very confused, but, you're very young. You have a lot of options.
it'll come into focus.
Don't be stressed.
Yeah, don't be stressed.
Think
don't
outside
push
the
it.
box.
Uh-huh.
But
Taco
also,
Bell.
college is a really important. I feel like it's a very it's very cool to be like, fuck college, like explore. The college is just the man. That's a system telling you have to. But I'm also like, that was a really important, great time for
Yeah,
me.
it really
Yeah.
is.
And
it
it's-
helps you transition, I think, into adulthood.
And
from
meet these
high school.
amazing people, and it's a
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah, and that's, I think, for me, the most important part was the connections and transition. Because if I had to start real life right out of high school, I would not have been prepared.
It sucks
Yeah.
starting it right out of college. There should be
Yeah.
a second college. College
make
too.
that.
School?
Yeah. Oh, there is.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And
Thank
thank
you.
you all for watching. We'll see you next week for another episode of Always Open. Cheers, my friends.
Cheers,
Cheers.
friends.